again, continuing my Don't Go to College series, and this is my first video regarding the topic of administrative abuse. And today I'm going to tell the horrible story of what happened to Thomas Klocke 2 years ago at the University of Texas, Arlington. Thomas Klocke was a 24-year-old heterosexual male student at the University of Texas, Arlington, and there was a homosexual classmate that he had been hitting on him, and he did not appreciate it. And the homosexual student was afraid that Tom was going to complain about him, so he made up a fake story that Tom had written "Gays Should Die" and called him a faggot. Now, the gay student had made up this story. There was no evidence of any note written or any email written where Tom had said that gays should die, and nobody had ever heard Tom tell his gay classmate that he was a faggot. And the University of Arlington, Texas decided to automatically find Tom guilty and put him on disciplinary probation, and they told him that he could never go to graduate school because he had disciplinary probation on his record. And they marred up his student record with this supposed claim about him being, verbally attacking gays and hate speech and all this kind of garbage. And they upset him so much that he committed suicide. Please see this article right here. Now I'm going to provide two more screenshots of one long article at the end of this video, but I want everybody to know that this is actually, in terms of the way the university handled things, of just automatically finding him guilty and not caring that there wasn't any evidence, actually is not abnormal. This is the main thing people need to understand, is that this kind of behavior on the part of universities is not abnormal. And we don't know if there are other Thomas Klockes out there that just never made the news. There might be. Thomas Klocke might not be as alone as we think. There may be other students that have committed suicide because they've been bullied by the administration. Basically, students have no legal rights once they accuse you of any kind of wrongdoing. Judicial Affairs pretty much always finds the student guilty. And they scare you, they tell you that your life is ruined, that you can never go to graduate school or law school or medical school, and they say they're going to put disciplinary probation on your transcripts, and they make you feel like your life is over, and they don't listen to evidence, and they don't care. This is actually very normal. I want everyone to understand that what happened to Tom is actually very normal. Students are found guilty of things without due process or without evidence all the time. It's just that nobody understands that, and the media doesn't want to publicize this, because the only thing they give a damn about is whining about whether or not Russia hacked the election and complaining about Donald Trump farting too much or blowing his nose too often at some dinner party. And this is an issue that needs to be taken seriously. There's actually even a loophole in the law. I'll explain how I know this in another video. This was not based on Thomas Klocke. But there's actually a loophole in stalking and harassment laws such that a school administrator can actually follow around and stalk and harass a student over the age of 18. And all they have to do to justify it is say, I think he or she might be dangerous, and the student has no rights. You can't call the police. You cannot get a restraining order. Nothing. And I want to let Thomas Klocke's father know, if he ever watches this, that I hope you win your lawsuit. I don't hold out much hope for your son, that your son's death will be avenged. I don't think you're going to win, but I hope you do. I hope that you can successfully sue the University of Texas at Arlington for your son's death, but I don't think you're going to win, because students don't have any legal rights. And here are the other two screenshots of the articles. Of the article, I found two screenshots of the same article right here. And I really feel bad for Tom, and I was bullied by Judicial Affairs at Cal Poly Pomona, as was my brother. I'll make separate videos about those things. And I went to NAU for a time, Northern Arizona University, and I went there hopefully to get a master's degree, and I had to drop out because I was being stalked and harassed. And I got some justice from that, but not very much. So I hope this video helps somebody out there. But the main take-home message is what happened to Thomas Klocke is not abnormal, it is not strange, it is not bizarre. Judicial Affairs, Student Affairs departments in colleges and universities will take any lame complaint, no matter how irrational it is, or even if there's evidence to prove that it's a false claim, and they will find you guilty, they will mar up your student record, and they will tell you that your life is over. It's psychological torture, and it is abuse, and it has to end.